scene today. Joining me now from Florida, former prosecutor Ken Padowitz. Ken, what do you make of this move today?
Well, Reverend Sharpton, the former judge said in her order that legally there were insufficient grounds to find a conflict to have her remove herself, but taken in the totality of all of the circumstances on this specific case, she was basically going to remove herself from the case in the appearance of fairness to make sure that justice is done. She thought, based on this type of case, with all the media scrutiny, this was the appropriate action on her part.
So it's about appearance, not the law. Well, what can you tell us about the new judge?
Well, the new judge, Judge Ken Lester, grew up in the Orlando area. At age 17, he joined the Navy and actually went to Vietnam. When he got out of the stint with the armed forces, he went to college at the University of Central Florida, where he not only got a bachelor's degree, but received a master's degree in accounting. From there, he went over up north in Florida to the University of Florida in Gainesville for law school, where I actually was in my undergrad years in college at the time. So he gets points right away for being a Florida Gator, in my mind. But after leaving law school, the new judge practiced law for approximately 17 years, practicing criminal law and family law, and then became a judge in 1996, and he's been a judge for 15 years. So we have a portrait of a man who's very, very intelligent, apparently a by-the-books kind of guy, is going to be conservative and tough sentencer, and we should add to top off all these facts about the judge, he's presently married to a homicide prosecutor in Orange County.
Married to a homicide prosecutor. All right,
exactly.
Let me ask you this. How will his appointment affect the bond hearing on Friday?
Well, I think that he's apparently a very intelligent man, and he's an experienced judge, and I think that he can easily take over the spot, slide into that bond hearing, and listen to the evidence from both sides and make a fair determination as to whether or not a bond should be granted in this case. And the issues in a bond hearing are whether or not the defendant has ties to the community, whether he is a flight risk. And I think the judge is an intelligent person with enough experience that he can listen to the evidence and make a proper determination as to whether or not Mr. Zimmerman should be granted bail. And from all things that I've seen, I would take a wild guess that bond will be granted in this case.
Is that's not unusual in a murder 2 case because of whether he's a flight risk or ties to the community?
Well, the judge is going to have to listen to the evidence very carefully to make sure that Mr. Zimmerman will, in fact, show up for trial if he's released on bond. But from everything that I've seen, there appears to be ties to the community for Mr. Zimmerman, and he doesn't apparently have a prior conviction in his background. So there's a number of factors that a good defense attorney is going to argue as to why bond would be appropriate. And in many cases similar to this, a second-degree murder charge, the judge does, in fact, grant a bond.
Ken Padowitz, thank you for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Still